Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Homesteadknitting Podcast episode 4. My name's Danielle, and I'm the maker and designer behind Homesteadknitting. You can find me on Instagram, ravelry, and ribblr under that username. I'll have them down below in the description box if you're interested. Sorry, my throat is so dry today from the weather. The weather's been really up and down where I live right now, so it's been like minus 20 some days, and then today it's like minus 5, so my body does not know what to do right now. Just have some hot coffee here I'll be sipping on throughout the video because I'm clearly having a hard time talking. I also want to mention before we get started in today's video that if you happen to be knitting or crocheting along with something, do you want to just leave me a comment down below with what you're working on? I'd love to hear about it and maybe find some new patterns that I may not have known about before. Alright, so let's get into it. So, I don't have new yarn per se, but I do have a new crochet hook, so I'm super excited to try it out. So I've been looking for a while for some Tunisian crochet hooks. I did watch TL Yarn Crafts on YouTube for what she has recommended for interchangeable crochet hooks. I did see that Knit Picks sells the wooden interchangeable crochet hooks. I don't mind the rainbow wood knitting needles. I actually had a set, but my boyfriend snapped them on accident. He didn't know they were in the bag, and he tried to force it into a space it shouldn't have fit in, so they snapped. But I actually really loved those knitting needles, and I'd be interested in trying the crochet hooks. However, some of the reviews were very mixed, and some people said that with the smaller hooks, they had issues with them snapping, and I don't want to buy a tool that's going to snap on me right away and I'm not going to be able to get a lot of use out of it. I did see the Denise interchangeable, but I don't love the plastic textured hooks, and I really did like the look of the added clicks. There's one place I know that sells them where I live, but they're out of stock, and unfortunately the website that sells them, they sell the Tunisian crochet hooks by itself, and then you have to buy the cords and the needle stoppers separate, so that would be a very large investment. So I was looking into other options for Tunisian crochet hooks, and I found this dual-ended with a cord Tunisian crochet hook at Walmart by Love Knitting. These hooks aren't bad. They're not my favorite crochet hook because I do have a few others in this style by Love Knitting. And I picked up this 6mm crochet hook, and if you've never seen a Tunisian crochet hook like this, this is for doing Tunisian crochet in the round. However, I do want to do Tunisian crochet flat. I just didn't want to get an Afghan hook because I don't like those. If you don't know what an Afghan hook is, it's basically a straight knitting needle, except it has a crochet hook on the end, so they're oftentimes like this long. And I don't like working with super long straight needles. I don't like the weight that it puts on my arm and my body. I find it strange. I don't enjoy working with them. I find they're kind of awkward for me, just with how I like to hold my knitting needles. And I know because of that experience, it would be very unlikely that I would like this straight Tunisian crochet hook, so I did decide to pick up the circular. I'm kind of thinking of just doing like Tunisian crochet like strips, kind of like if you've seen like a knit mitered square blanket, maybe something like that, like mitered squares, or I think it's called the Northeasterly blanket, where you make like a chevron strip and it's knit, and then you would just pick up stitches along the side and you would just keep adding like strips to it. I think I'm kind of looking for something along those lines. If you happen to Tunisian crochet and you have any ideas for me on a really great project, I've only done it once before, and I used the Tunisian simple stitch, but if you know of any ideas or something you think I might enjoy, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I would love to get some more recommendations for that. So for finished objects, I did finish the hat for my boyfriend. As you can tell, it doesn't look the same as it did. What happened was it was about ½ inch to an inch too large for him. So I put it in the washer, and I was gonna put it in the dryer, like to shrink it down a little bit. But I put it in with a load of laundry, and I kind of walked away, and I forgot about it in the dryer. So lesson learned: don't let me do the laundry. I'll forget about it. So it came out, and it completely felted. So it's smaller than it was. It's definitely still wearable for someone's head. Like, it's slightly too small for my boyfriend. It's a little bit larger for my head, so maybe somebody between our two head sizes would get great use out of this. I mean, it looks cute. So I knit this hat. This is the Musselburgh hat. I knit this on 4mm needles, and I knit this out of Knit Picks palette Autumn Heather, which is a fingering weight yarn, and it's 100% Peruvian wool. So yeah. Of course I can't even wear it because I am allergic to wearing wool on my face. My skin is very sensitive to it. I'm not bad for wearing it on my body. So I will be trying to re-gift this to somebody in my life, maybe my parents or his parents. If somebody could make some use out of this hat, I'd love to gift it to them. It's completely felted. It feels really nice and soft. I think it looks amazing. It's just too small for his head. So, lesson learned. I will not be felting anything in the near future, I don't think. Alright. Moving on. I have my sock. I got all the ends woven in. This is my vanilla sock with a strong heel or a gusset heel. If you're new here, I will be releasing a pattern for this as a free pattern sometime in January, I'm thinking. I'm also going to be doing a full video tutorial for this sock. It features 2x2 rib, vanilla leg, a gusset heel, the heel turn, then you knit your foot, and then it has a wedge toe with Kitchener stitch, but you could also use the Finch graft or your favorite grafting method to graft the toe up, of course. So I am planning on releasing this sometime in January if it works out. It'll be a free downloadable pattern on both my Ravelry and my ribblr. I did finally get started on the video tutorial for this. So I tried about probably 4 or 5 times already to start a video tutorial, and for whatever reason, every time I tried to start, something went wrong, and I was just not having a good day doing it. So I finally started. Yesterday I got the tutorial filmed. However, I'm still kind of on the fence on if it's good enough to actually release. I think I might end up refilming it with a different colored yarn because this navy is quite dark and it's hard to see. Oh, I should mention I knit this on 3mm needles for the sock magic loop. The navy yarn here is Knit Picks Stroll in the colorway navy, and the main body of my sock is Red Heart and Soul in the colorway Skyscraper. And of course I am knitting my second sock, Magic Loop, and I will be doing the tutorial Magic Loop. I'm using my 3mm needles again, the same yarn. So yeah, and just a quick tip, if you knit Magic Loop and you have like a newer cord like me, oops. So this cord is quite new. This green cord is from Knit Picks, however my needle tips are Knit Pro, which is the same as Knitter's Pride. It's just the European version of them. I bought my set on Amazon, however they sell them in a bunch of different places. And the Knit Pro cables that they sell, the Knit Picks sells cables that go with the Knitter's Pride or the Knit Picks. They seem to be interchangeable. I haven't had any problems with them yet. However, this cord is a 40-inch cord with the needle tips, and it's very new, so it's quite stiff. And every time I went to cast on, I kept getting like a twist here in my cord, so I thought, okay, like I'm ready to knit. So I'd knit about half of my Magic Loop, and then I get to the other half, I'm like, why are my stitches twisted? I checked this 3 times, and it's because my cord kept twisting and I didn't realize. So if you're having issues with a new cord and you keep getting stitches twisted in the round for Magic Loop, double check that your cord's not twisting on you. So after I figured out that my cord was just twisted, I was able to cast on in the round, and I've only knit about 4 rounds so far, and I have 20 rounds of ribbing to go before I can reach the leg. So yeah, I'm getting started on this. My next project is the dog sweater I'm making for my dog. I'm crocheting this with a 3.5mm crochet hook, And I am using Knit Picks Pals again, which is 100% Peruvian wool, and I'm using the colorway Douglas Fir for this. So for this coat, it is just double crochet in the back loop only. This is half of the back portion of the sweater. Here's where his hip will be. And then as you come along here, I've gotten to the first armhole, and right here where I have this light bulb stitch marker, this actually was where I was last time I sat down to podcast. So it's been about 2 weeks since then. So I had armhole number 1 last time I sat down to podcast. And oops, I have this upside down. I'm now reached the second armhole, and I have about 4 more rows to finish before I'm ready to chain across and finish the back of this piece. So it's super close to being done. I'm very excited. I did just finish the second ball of this yarn this morning, so I have 1 more ball left, and I'm hoping it'll be just enough to finish it up. And then if I do have a little bit of extra yarn, I do want to do a little bit of a button band for the back, because I will be buttoning my dog in and out of this sweater. And then we'll kind of see how much extra yarn I have from there to see if I have enough to maybe add a little bit more onto the armholes and make like a short sleeved sweater for him. But yeah, we'll just kind of see. And then my last project that I was working on in the last couple of weeks was my crocheted sweater, which I have not been picking up in a while because I just have been prioritizing other projects. So this one is a design of my own. This one is made out of DK weight yarn and a 4.5mm hook. The yarn I'm using for this is Loops and Threads Snuggly Wuggly in the color cream. This is 100% acrylic, and the other yarn I'm using is Zeman Diana, and this is an 80 acrylic, 20 wool. And it just says color 95. There's no color name or anything for it. So I was able to add on a couple of rows here, not much, but it's progress. And again, this is a design I'm coming out with on my own. This will be a crocheted sweater, believe it or not, by the time I'm done with it. Obviously, I haven't woven any of my ends yet, just in case it does not work out, I can frog it and start over. So yeah, that's all I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. And of course, November is almost at the end here. And I'm kind of feeling disappointed in myself a little bit because I didn't finish nearly as much as I was hoping to for the end of November. I still do want to start that Slip Stravaganza blanket for my Advent knitting, but I feel like I kind of maybe overshot how productive I thought I could be in November, and just finishing off too many projects at once. So I thought I'd include a little bit about what my goals are for the next couple of weeks. So priority number 1 for me will be finishing up my dog sweater for my dog. And then obviously when December 1st starts, I will for sure be casting on my blanket. However, I'm only planning on knitting on it for maybe like 30 minutes a day in the morning. And then I will be picking up my sock or a sweater, or this, like my sweater or the sweater I'm making for my boyfriend. And then maybe at the end of the day, maybe like another 30 minutes. But I really want to prioritize some of my other knitting. It's also super important that I finish these socks because I do want to get this out sometime in January, and these socks are actually going to be for my dad. His birthday's just after New Year's, so his birthday will be in January. So it's really important that I get these knit in time for his birthday in case I do see him right away. I'd like to have those finished. So yeah, I guess I'll just kind of see what the end of November brings, and hopefully in the next week or maybe 2 weeks I'll sit down to podcast again. So thanks for watching. If you liked the podcast or anything I'm working on, please feel free to leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, thanks for watching. Till next time.